when I point this way, that's funny. You probably have your boxes all different.
See me, so legs up. That's good. And then just lie here. And tuck your ribs in and check in with your neck. And your knees can be bent.
Sarah, you didn't mute us.
Didn't mute you. You are correct.
Thank you, I shall. Let's see. Mute all. Okay.
And take your arms up and just look at your arms and have the hands be over the shoulders. They tend to just reach toward the toes instinctively. And that's the idea, except I want the alignment more feet over hips and hands over shoulders. And then just the tiniest little tuck of your tailbone to raise your hips up. And they may barely leave the ground. So the emphasis, yay, Sharon has on her stripies, is to tuck the tailbone and the hips may or may not lift. And go ahead and start to do that, tucking to lift the bum, tiny bit off the floor. And I find that less is a lot more. Less is plenty. And start to lift and lower via the tailbone. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then bring the legs down, let them rest for a moment. Take one of your blocks, have them both within reach. Have 2 blocks and have them both within the reach of your hands. And you're going to take it, if you're looking at the block, the thinnest way, the most narrow way, and the tallest, so long and thin, and place that between your thighs. Okay, so same position, legs, if you were to have a wall, legs are on it. If you have no wall, they're either in the air or they're on an ottoman or a couch. And I have mine, I'm doing it without a wall. And again, arms up, same exercise, just adding the blocks. Put tension on the legs by squeezing the block and then begin to lift and lower via the tailbone. 9, 8, 7, and coordinate your breath, make sure you're breathing. 6, 5, pressure on the block. 4, 3, morning Caitlin, 2, and 1. And then let your bum be heavy and your arms are gonna go up and down. So you're gonna lift your head and shoulders up, 10, and lower all the way down, 9. And I'm angling toward my feet. I don't wanna do that. I wanna go straight up toward the sky. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax your head and shoulders, neck, relax your arms down. Keep your legs raised and keep squeezing. And Caitlin, if you can do this at the wall, those pants are awesome. Do it at the wall, but I'm doing it just in the middle. It's up to you, but the option is you could do this at the wall. And then arms up, legs up. Arm bones in the socket. And we're gonna lift both. So tailbone goes up, arms go up. And as you lift up toward your toes this time and try to touch your toes. Just put a little tension on the block. Touch, 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 go up a little bit higher. Literally try to touch and down. And do 3 more like that. Lift the hips, raise the arms up, squeeze tightly on the block. Lift, 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 hollow your belly. And then go a little higher. So you're like on one vertebra. Go up, go up, go up. Oh my gosh. And down. And go up. Tailbone tucks. Arms reach, squeezies on the block. Reach, reach. And go a little higher. And lower. And last one. Go all the way up. Up, up. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Higher. And lower it down. And rest for a moment, feet on the ground. Notice your breath. It might be quite good right now. Deep breath in. And exhale. And then if you are working with a wall, your feet go on the wall with your knees bent, so you kind of have this nice right angle. You could also do this with your feet on the edge of a couch or an ottoman. You're still squeezing the block. And you're going to start to roll your hips up and roll your hips down. Now, I don't have a ton of range here with this. Some people have a lot more than me. So you might be rolling up towards shoulder stand-ish, like toward your shoulders. I'm not. I'm only going to go toward my middle back and then roll down. Now, if you don't want to use any elevation, that works too. You could do this from the ground, squeezing the block between the thighs, raise the hips up, and roll them down. A few of these, rolling through the spine. With pressure on the thighs, squeezing in. Now, I think either one, yep. So either way, if your feet are elevated or on the floor, you're gonna squeeze the block and lift your left foot off the wall or off the ground. So you're just on that right foot, still squeezing, hugging in with the thighs, yep. And then bend that knee, put the foot back on the wall or on the ground, and elevate the other side. And notice if the side that's still bent is caving one way or the other. And then place that side down. And do it one more time. Extend the left leg, firm down through the right leg, and drag that right heel either down the wall isometrically, so like downward pressure to get the hamstring, or towards your butt. And then switch sides. Turn on the hamstring on the supported leg. Exactly. And bring it down. If your feet are on the wall, leave them on the wall. If they're on the floor, both are on the floor. And then you're going to take the blocks and stack them the long way, so the wide way, at the flattest height underneath your butt. And you want it just at the top of the butt, and the blocks are aligned. So the blocks are stacked, and you have two underneath you. So you're raised up pretty high. If you only have one, great. So this works either way. You're going to leave one foot on the wall or leave it on the floor. And we did a version of this the other day, but it's slightly different. You're going to bend we'll start with the left side, your left foot back toward your outer left hip. So toward the outside of the left block, or the left side of the block. And you're going to, instead of pointing the foot, like we did the other day, you're going to tuck the toes under. So the toenails are not on the floor. So, yes. So tuck those toes under and have that foot back there. And then with your hand, take your heel. So with your pincer, little claw finger, take the heel and just gently pull the skin of the heel toward your head. And it's awesome. Can you guys, I can't believe this stretch, how simple it is and how yummy. And then let the knee of the bent leg, the left knee, kind of go down toward the floor just a tiny bit. Maybe forward toward the wall or toward wherever it's pointing. And then tuck your ribs just a little bit so there's some tone to the abdomen. And then you can take your knee, so you're pulling back on the heel, and then floss the thigh left to right. So slide the knee into abduction and then adduction toward the midline. So kind of flosses left and right of midline. Sharon. Oh, you might be doing it differently just because of your knee, but I just don't know if that's on purpose. So it's hard to see, but so I had this action happening. Okay. So I still have my left foot back. I'm pulling on the heel to intensify sensation, and then I'm flossing my knee horizontally, left to right. And I'm elevated because that makes a difference. Caitlin, I don't see yours moving, but I assume you have your reasons. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. And back, just, of course, be careful of your toes. Oh, it's good. Okay. And then we're going to carefully kind of lean toward the other hip to set that leg free. Stretch it out as much as you need to. And then you're going to bend the other side back. Oh. And then tuck the toes under and make sure they're all kind of into it. Sometimes they don't all make it. Hold the skin of the right heel, slide it back. Oh, yes. And then glide it, a deduction and a abduction, left to right. Good, so that's good. Karen, I can't really see, but I'm assuming you have it. And it's interesting, right? Because you feel the different aspects of the quadriceps. Because at least for me, some of them are tighter than others. Also try to take note, are your hips, like I just noticed my left hip is down. You want to take your peace fingers and just check if your hip bones are level, and then go back to pulling the skin of the right heel. Back, and floss it. And then lean a little bit to the left side. Wow. Extend that leg out. And pause here. And then you're going to walk your feet down the wall, if they're on the wall, or place them on the floor. And lift the buttocks up and take the blocks out and put them to the side for now. Come all the way down. Roll to your side and roll toward your tummy. We're going to come into child's pose. If you're working with the wall, tuck your toes under like they just were and have your feet flat against the wall. So the soles of the feet are flat against the wall. My heels are kind of on my couch since I'm working with a couch, or not at all. You can also go not at all. Toes are tucked under. Knees are a little bit apart, and you're gonna come into a child's pose variation with the arms walked way out in front of you. Push through your hands and try to propel your buttocks back. So I don't love this. They like kind of hang out around my ankles, but they don't want to go all the way back to my heels. And I want to push with my hands a lot so that my butt goes farther toward my feet. And then drop the head, if possible. And it's a pretty deep side body opening. You might wriggle your torso a little bit and spidey crawl your fingers farther forward without letting your bum come off your heels. So there's, for me, constant pressure down to the fingers and hands. Good. And then leave your legs where they are and come forward. You'll be in kind of a long tabletop. Bend your elbows down to the mat. Yeah. Okay. Now squeeze your elbows toward each other so that forearms are on the floor. Squeeze the elbows toward one another and push, if your feet are on the wall, push them back into it or some sort of surface. If they're not, just extend your feet back. Squeeze the elbows in and widen your shoulders apart. So protract, the shoulder blades apart. Protract your back body. And then push down through your hands and lift your elbows about 10% off the ground. Keep widening your back. You're going to feel stuff. And slowly start to straighten the arms back to table. Firm the abdomen. Lower the elbows 10% toward the floor. Protract the back, shoulder blades, elbows firming in, and then lower another 10 until you come all the way down. I think my map is a little off there. Make sure the neck is free. And do this a few times. Straighten the arms, and this is so easy to just rush through. But if you're doing it right, it's pretty hard. Bending the elbows, widening the shoulder blades, taking your time, feeling that musculature around the sides of your body. And one more time, pushing down, squeezing elbows in, straightening the arms, active heels extending back, and then slowly lower down, slowly to the ground. Yeah. And then come on back up. Take your blocks and put them under where the hands go, which is slightly forward. Come on to probably slide the heels of the hands back toward the back of the block and come into down dog. If you do have a surface that you're pressing against, your toes are tucked under like they were in that child's pose. The knees are bent. You have high stilettos on. That's the shape of the foot. And you're pushing your feet against that surface. If you don't have a surface, you're just in high stilettos. Knees are bent. Hips are jetting up, up, up. Long arms. And broaden your upper back. Keep your feet where they are. Come forward to a plank on the blocks. Bend the knees. Try to imagine you can feel your hamstrings pulling you back to down dog. Let's do that again. This time add a roll. Round your upper back. Roll. My favorite thing to do. Forward to this plank. Squeezing your thighs. Press your heels back, which will engage the glutes in a nice, juicy, good way. And then bend the knees just a tiny bit. Feel the hamstrings pulling your buttocks up into the air. I'm still on high heels, and I'm pushing my feet against the wall, and I'm pushing down through the ball of the big toe. Trying to stretch that guy. It's not easy. Draw the right knee toward your chest and plant that right foot in the center between the blocks. You may want padding for the back knee. Lower the back knee to the ground. Inhale and raise your arms up. Interlace your fingers with the left thumb on top. Pull the arms straight. Squeeze your hips toward each other. Drag your right heel back and your left knee forward, feeling some of that quad stretch we felt on our back. Engage belly, raise the arms up higher, slide the hips toward your front leg, and wriggle, I have to wriggle, you might not need to, the arm bones farther back, and look up and back. Nice deep lunge, firm legs. Bend the elbows, clasp the base of the head, and squeeze the elbows forward and toward your skull. With your palms, pick your head up. Pick it up, give the neck a nice bit of space, and look maybe deeper into this back bend. Firm the navel. Widen the elbows. Come out of it so you're not in such an extreme position, and twist to the right. Keep that right leg firm. If you have the wall behind you, extend the right arm to the wall. Push into it as you turn. If you don't, you could have the couch behind you. Raise that left arm up. If you don't have a couch, you could hold your left thigh or left something, calf, and reach with that left arm back. Cartwheel left hand down to the left block. Lift your left knee and take the right arm up. Simple twist. Right knee stays bent. Turn left ribs to right ribs and reach that right arm over the ear. Circle the right hand down to the block and straighten your right leg. So you're in this nice split pyramid. Rotate the belly over the right thigh and let your head drape down. Hands move forward toward the front lip of the blocks for a deeper stretch. Roll the armpits toward the hands and lengthen the sides of the neck. Tone your legs, and I'm getting an unusually good stretch through my left calf. Usually don't feel much there. Spin your left heel to the wall or floor. So the heel's on the ground. If the wall is there, you're pushing against it with the outer left foot. Slide your right block back so it's in line with your ankle and lift it to a higher height. Straighten the legs and reach your left arm over your ears. So you're in a kind of a Parjo Konasana triangle hybrid. Your legs are triangled, but your arm is extending over that left ear. Push against the wall if you have one. Rotate your left side, left hip toward the ground a little bit. So navel toward the floor a little. Right shoulder blade slides onto the back and then reach through your left arm. Again, navel rolls slightly toward floor, but right ribs turn up and reach. Bend your right knee, coming into a brief side angle pose. And can you feel your hamstrings? The key is really push into the feet. Yes. Rotate to the floor and lower your left knee again. Feel free again, pat it up. And you're gonna walk your blocks way over to the left side. Turn your right toes out to the right. Come on to the outer blade of your right foot. You can bend your elbows or leave the arms straight and place the elbows on the blocks. So I'm way over to the left. My right toes are angled to the right. And I'm here. This is intense. Or I take my right hand and I press my right thigh away to the right. I adduct it with my hand to the right. And then I sweep that same arm, right arm, to the left. Way over to the left, so it's a big, big side back bend. And I reach it even more to the left, and I rotate my chest toward the ceiling. And it's a big, big, big old stretch. But only go to where, is right for you. Yeah, Oshi on that back knee, so maybe lift it a little. Turn. Whoa. Hopefully you didn't just eat something. And then swim it back to the center. Hands on blocks. Step back, down dog, elevated feet. Knees are bent. I highly recommend that so you can shift your hips up higher, higher, higher. And get very long in the arms and side body, belly in. Breathing. And draw your left knee to your chest and place your left foot between the blocks. Pat up your back knee if you're going to. Your right heel can be at the wall, and that helps you kind of with location. So if you are working with the wall, scooch back so that right foot is on it, and then take your arms up. Interlace the fingers, right thumb on top, and start about squaring your hips. So get on that project of pulling your left heel back, right thigh a little forward, pubic bone upright, and raise the arms. The ribs, everything supporting that lift. Nice. Breathe. Beautiful, guys. Contract your hips in. Keep going up. Beautiful. And shimmy your arms back toward your ears if they're not there. Firm your forearms in, Mary, and go up. And then look up if it's okay, and go a little bit up and back. Back bending here. Beautiful side, beautiful guys. And feel stuff. Make sure part of what you're feeling is breath. By the way, slide hips farther forward. 4 more. Bend the elbows, clasp the base of the skull. Squeeze your elbows in and up, and lift the head. Curl back, curl. Oh yeah. Come a little bit out of that. Widen your elbows, twist to your left. Turn to the left. Elbows wide, head resting into the hands or slightly pushing into the hands. Yeah. If you have that wall there, reach that left arm back and push into the wall. Or let that left hand go down the back leg. Reach that right arm up and back. Maybe fingers reach to the wall or whatever is behind you. Nothing. Oh, I need twist. Juicy. Breathing. Turning. Okay. Right hand comes down to the right block. Back knee lifts up, push into the wall if it's there, or couch, and left arm high. Use that sort of guardrail to bend that left knee deeper. Turn right ribs toward left. Sweep left arm over the ear. Bring the left hand down, spin your back heel down. Oh, sorry, not yet. Keep your back heel lifted. Sorry about that. And straighten your left leg. And bend your left leg and straighten. And then hold, hold. Walk your hands out a little bit to the front lip of the block. And let the head drop. Or lengthen the sides of the neck if that's better. On this side, I notice my left hip kind of veers out to the left. You want to scoop that left hip in toward the midline. And keep that firm sense of alignment. I'm going to pull on the blocks because it feels really good to lengthen here for me. Now spin your back heel down. If you do have the wall, use it. Push your foot against that wall. Bring left hand back in line with ankle. Raise block up another height, maybe 2 more. And sweep that right arm forward, coming into this hybrid triangle. 2 straight legs. Reach, tailbone under a little bit. Rotate back hip toward the floor. Navel toward floor a tiny bit. Left ribs up. And turn left ribs toward right ribs, reach. Bend the left knee, Parshvanottanasana. Press left knee toward arm, side body stretch, feet. Push them into whatever they're on, reach. Right hand comes down, turn toward the ground, pad your back knee, right knee taps down. Walk, hands, blocks way over to the right. In line with your right hip, turn, left toes left, blade of left foot. I'm going to press my left thigh away, but I'm twisted to the right. Forearms on blocks if possible, or not. You want to let your body decide, not your ego or mind. Oh, and press that left thigh away. It's a doozy. That might be enough if you want more. And also, it's not really more, it's just different. Sweep that left arm over the ear and we reach way over to the right. So that whole left side is getting a nice back here. Stretch back. And circle it down. Take the blocks forward. Knee to the midline. And step back into plank. Heels are up the wall or they're not. Yeah. And then place your feet walk your feet a little bit forward. Place them on the ground and you're in a short dog. And push through your hands. So it's a tall, yeah, I know I said short, but it's short in length and tall in height, dog. Push through the blocks, raise your buttocks, maybe you bend the knees, but the feet are flat. You might get a nice stretch down the legs. Walk your hands to your feet. If you're working with the wall today, walk your feet forward so that your bum is on the wall. The knees are bent and your torso rests on your legs at that angle. If you're not working with the wall, Uttanasana, with nice soft legs, forward fold. And rest here, breathing. Loosely turn the head side to side and up and back. And walk your hands back out to the blocks and your feet back to the wall if you're working with that, or at the couch or the ottoman. Heels are raised, knees are bent. Push through the arms so you're in this exaggerated dog. Hips high. Knees are bent, side body extra long. Okay. You're going to draw your right knee to your chest and step your right foot forward, just like before. If you have pillows, great. You might prefer them. Otherwise, you're going to work with the blocks. I'm going to give a few options here because I think this is hard. So it doesn't matter which block. The blocks go back. They go back to about where your knee is, and you can stack them. So looking at the blocks, they're wide, side to side. You can raise one up. The one is flat, and then the next one goes to its second highest height. This will hold your left thigh. I have my left heel on the support of the wall or couch. Mine's on the couch. And this goes, it's really personal, like for everyone, but it goes right at the top of the knee, the beginning of the thigh. So I think this is hard. You could put a pillow there, it's a lot less painful. Alternatively, you can move the whole thing forward a little bit and stack it so that just the knee is supported on the blocks. And this, I think, is the easier way, but also still kind of exciting. So it doesn't take all the fun out. Choose what you want to do. I know you don't know what we're doing yet, so it's hard to say. Take your hands to your hips with the thumbs down and push your butt down. Roll your hips up and then slide your hips forward. So it's a lunge. Yeah. Oh. And then raise the arms up. Interlace the fingers, left thumb on top. Pull way up and back. Bend the elbows, support the head, rotate elbows forward, palm the head, and lift it up. Flare the elbows apart, twist to the right, keep the hips forward. Right hand goes back behind you, left elbow goes forward, outside of right thigh, stack the palms. Prayer twist. Back knee can lift away from the blocks or stay there. Twist here, squeezing the midline. If you can balance, take a little bit of a back bend. So lean a little bit more to the left as you turn and rotate your ribs up. Come on out of this slowly. Hands on either side of the front foot. You can move your blocks to either side of your front foot and bend and straighten your front leg a few times. Get the flow moving in there. Back leg is now squeezing. That one's kind of intense. Something that we do all the time, but just a little bit of a different take on it makes it harder. Spin your left heel down. Right hand is on the block, you might want to raise it up. And sweep that left arm over the ear into that interesting triangle thing, hybrid. Rotate belly slightly to the right, and then turn ribs up to the left. Nice, you guys. Reach. Bend the right knee. Parsvakonasana, just for a moment. Left hand comes down to the block. This is where if you're working with a wall, you're gonna bring I'll walk you through it. I'll explain both. So you're on the height of both blocks, the highest height. Scoot your right foot back a little bit and extend your left leg. It's either pressing into nothing or the wall. So you're in supported warrior 3. If you're using a wall or some contact surface, push into it a lot. If you're not, push down into the blocks and the floor a lot and reach the head forward. We're gonna rotate that upper leg to half moon. So turn that left leg and reach that left arm forward like we did in that triangle. Left leg opens, tailbone under, belly strong, reach. Reach, reach, reach. Skim your left foot down the wall, place it against the wall in that corner or on the floor, warrior 2. Bend the right knee, come on up. If you're working with the wall, you're going to turn your left fingers toward the floor and push the heel of that left hand against the wall. If you're not, take your left hand down your leg. But in either case, reach more than usual. So if you're on the wall, go down as far as you can with that left arm. Staying in warrior 2. So down the wall, super low. So Sally, like by your left knee practically low. And then sweep your right arm up and back toward the wall. So if you're at the wall, reach for it and push your right fingertips into the wall. If you're not, you could hold your head here and use your head. Lift your head with your palm and turn left ribs toward right, nose right into bicep, and curl here. Flare your right ribs up and reach. If you're using the wall, push your left heel into the floor and right knee farther forward. Flare your right ribs up and go deeper. And it's just so yummy. Somebody breathe. Everybody breathe. Re-extend that right arm. Warrior 2. Loop. Bring the hands back down to the blocks. Place them at a height where you can balance. Step back rock. If you're at the wall, heels push back. Widen your shoulders for a moment. Widen your shoulder blades, protract. And then slowly start to bend your elbows, firming them in toward each other. Bend down to chaturanga. Leave your toes tucked under, take an up dog here. Make your legs really strong. Squeeze shoulder blades, retract them. Pull the heart forward. Look up, super long neck. Make this gorgeous. Beautiful, you guys. Use your hamstrings, pull belly, slide back, down dog. Slightly bent knees. Raise the carriage of the hips up. Stretch it. Head hangs. You're practically in a headstand. And then draw your left knee to your chest. Step your left foot forward. Slide your blocks back. Make that support for the back thigh. Stack them or have one flat and the one at the second to highest height. And then have that support right at the bottom of your thigh, your right thigh. So that I think this is the hardest way, and I think this is really hard. You could use a pillow, it makes it less brutal, or you could stack it and put the knee right on it. Take your hands to your hips, thumbs down, and roll the flesh of your buttocks toward your tailbone, pubic bone up. Then you could raise the arms up, interlace the fingers, right thumbs on top, right thumb on top, wiggle your shoulders back, arm bones back, reach up. Bend the elbows, hold the base of the skull, pull the head up, curl back. Elbows move forward. Yeah? Widen the elbows apart, twist to the left. Woo. Reach your left arm back and hook your right elbow on the outside of that left leg. Twist. Stack your palms. Turn. Oh, yeah, okay. So we're twisting right ribs toward left, but lean a little bit back to the right. Squeeze that right thigh, maybe lift it away from the torture of the blocks. Neck long. Yes. Okay, unwind it. That's a doozy. Put your blocks on either side of your front foot and flush out that leg a little bit. Straighten and bend. And to straighten the leg, you're kicking that left leg forward, and to bend, you're isometrically dragging that left heel back. And that just adds a whole nother level of concentration. So using the mechanism of movement, I don't know if that makes sense. So straighten the leg into bend. Spin your back heel down, pushing it into the support if there is one. And I move my block to the highest height. Straighten your left leg, sweep the right arm over the ear. Bend the left knee. Push through your feet. Turn toward the floor. Supported warrior 3. I took my arms forward. You might have to hop your left foot back so that your heel is on the wall if you're working with it. And it feels great if you do have that. So push into both feet. If you don't have the wall, you can imagine pressure against your right foot. Belly firm. Now start to rotate that right hip up. Right arm up. And right arm reaches over the ear. Push into your right foot, tailbone under. Maybe take that right arm more to the left and bend back. If you have that wall behind you, you can really take a back bend here. Nice, so Karen, you got that door. Push into that and reach back more to your left. Back bend it, if it's comfortable. And Sally, if that feels good, yes. Nice, you guys, beautiful. And then slowly scooch out of it, rotate toward the floor, move the blocks to a lower height, and step back plank. Push down into the blocks, squeeze your thighs, belly in. Yeah, now like we did in that opening part, squeeze the elbows firmly toward each other, protract the shoulder blades, bend the elbows like 20%. Hover, 30%. Widen the shoulder blades. Come halfway down, leave your toes tucked under. Up dog challenge, pull the heart through, curl back, firm your legs. Lower your knees to the floor. Child's pose, this time with toes pointed. Head comes down. Breathe into your back. Belly draws in, tuck chin, roll up to sit on your bum. Come forward onto your shins. Have the blocks just in case you need them within reach. Toes are tucked under. So we did this the other day, maybe slightly different, but it's that around the world camel. So toes are flared or tucked behind me. This gives me, it makes it less extreme. So these are hip resistance. If your low back bugs you, I recommend a block. I'm gonna try it with a block, I haven't done that. So put it between the inner thighs if you want to. It's just extra protection. You're gonna sweep your left arm toward the right. So it's gonna come in front of my face and sweeping it toward the right. My right heel grabs my right hand grabs my right heel and pulls up on it like it did in that quad stretch earlier. So a little pull. And I sweep my left arm. If I have the wall, I'm gonna push my left hand with the fingers down against the wall. Then it goes over to the left and it lifts me up. Let's go in that same direction again. Left arm sweeps over toward my right. So in front of my face to the right. With my right hand, I grab the heel and I pull on that skin a little bit. I sweep my I sweep my left hand to the wall, fingers facing down, heel of the hand into the wall, and then over to the left and back up. Yeah, let's go the other way. Right arm up. Bring it in front of my left eye. Left hand grabs the foot. I pull up with my hand on that heel a little bit. I don't lift the foot off the floor. And then I reach that right hand back to the wall. Push into it to go up, over to the right, and back up to the center. Let's do it again. Right arm sweeps in front of the left face. Way over to the left. Behind. I'm holding the heel of my left hand over to the right and up. Now, can you make this prettier? Start to circle it back and up. So it's a full circle, and then the other way. And that other arm comes up and across to help, kind of like a windmill. Do this a few times. If it feels good, you're gonna go around and up. You could windmill or not, and around and up. I think it feels good to use both arms. One more time each side. These look gorgeous, by the way. If it's too much, hold the heels, lift through the chest, and take a camel, pulling up on the heels. And going on up. Woo! Keep squeezing the block, hands to the floor, and waggle your hips from side to side to release any pressure in the back. I'm still squeezing the block. I'm going to take a few rounds slowly here. Really slowly toward flexion. So cat-cow, but don't rush it. Just a few. Walk your hands toward your knees. And if your feet don't do this, don't worry about it, but go back toward the feet, land on the heels, and hang in a forward bend. Push to the feet and roll up. So I'm debating, I'm looking at the time. I guess I was going to do a deeper back bend, but I think I'm going to go right to inversions. And you may want a wall. So for this, just to catch you. So do you have something that could catch you? A couch will work, but it's more scary. Or a door, somewhere you could go. You don't have to see me. You could watch first and then go there, just so that you don't fall. Okay. So we're going to face away from whatever that support is. Hands are on the ground. You're going to walk your feet back toward that support, and we're going to do that elbow bend a couple times. So hands are spread, and they're slightly, they're more in line with your face than under your shoulders. Squeeze the elbows in again, and slowly go down. Yeah? So we're in this forearm position, this Pinchamayurasana. Take your hands where your elbows are. So place your hands where your elbows just were. And then walk your feet onto the support and push back into the supported elbows. The heels are, if your feet are flat, they're pushing against the wall. Mine are on a couch. So I just have the balls of the feet there, and then I'm gonna raise my hips way up, up, up. Knees can be bent and hips go super high. It felt like I was lifting off my shoulders. Thighs squeeze up to the ceiling. Very good. Caitlin, good. Tuck your low ribs in. Beth, can you do it with arms straight up? Oh, they are, sorry. Hug your forearms in. Good. If you want to, take the right leg up and then the left leg up. Either alternating feet or having like a handstand position
That's, of course, if you're on the wall. But Mary, you could do it right there. Lift one leg up toward the sky. That might be hard. Yeah. And then you could also just walk both feet up the wall so you're kind of in a handstand, but on an angle. Push down to go up, like we did in those back bends. Awesome, you guys. And then slowly come on down and take child's pose for real. So toes are pointed, hands back by your feet, and rest your head. And take extra care now to breathe into your lower back. And sides of the waist. Firm your belly and roll up to sit. Use your abdomen to do it. Hands go out in front of you. Feet go back toward the support. Same as before. Protract the shoulders, firm elbows, and slow descent, elbows to the ground. Interlace the fingers, either thumb on top, if you remember where you left off on those crisscrosses. And then same thing, feet walk up the wall or not at all, and you raise your hips up. Pushing down, so now your forearms are your hands, and you push down into the forearms, raise your shoulders way up, butt way up. So you're in this scorpion variations, Pinchamayurasana version. Of course, you could do headstand here if you want, or lift the legs up for scorpion, one at a time or both. These look awesome. Lola agrees. Breathe and make sure you're safe. Bravo, though. Yeah, I saw that. That was amazing. And then when you've had enough of that, please come down. Gorgeous. Holy moly. You could always throw in a little bit of a curve in that upper back side, but don't. Only if it feels good. Only if it feels good. Yeah, but we did warm up that a lot. Oh, that's brilliant. So push into the. Nice. Beautiful. Bravo, you guys. Stunning, stunning. So Sally, what I was going to say is you could push against the wall for the back bend. Leave one foot on the wall and then bring the other foot toward your head. And you're using the pressure of the foot on the wall to protect your lower back. Everybody, when you're ready, go down and rest. If you're still working on something, cool. Belly draws in, we're gonna roll up, and we're gonna turn it around so we're on our back. Have your blocks. If you're working with a wall, this is the legs up the wall series. If you're not, we're gonna do right ankle over left thigh, just regular thread the needle. If you're at the wall, same thing, just with the left foot on the wall. If this isn't enough for you, and for some of us it's not, you're gonna take a block and put it underneath the right ankle foot and against the left thigh, you clip it right in there. And it's just steeper and more intense. Like a lot more, so much more. Brutally more. So either way. And then I'm not just gonna like lie there and suffer. I'm gonna move a little bit and suffer. So I'm gonna take my hips, my knees from side to side a bit. Oh. And it does feel like a drink, like for my hips, like this sort of hydrating, nourishing thing, albeit slightly painful. There's an interesting stretch in my left quadriceps that it's unusual but good. And we're gonna switch it. So slowly come out of that, stretch the legs, and go to the other side.
and put the block under there. That works for you. But the sides can be really different. So just check in. Whoa. That's my body making, that's my voice vocalizing the sensation of my body. Rock a little bit. I think this is otherwise known as when dogs come over to visit pose. Dogs come over to practice with this pose. Can you close the door? And uncross that and hug both knees in. You're going to take your blocks. If you do have a wall, I recommend it, or the couch. So this works with couch. And you're going to scooch your bum right up next to it. If you don't have one, it's fine. You're going to take your blocks and stack them again like we did in the beginning on the lowest height, one on top of the other. And slide them to the top of your bum. And then a little bit, tiny bit higher. So like low backish, sacrum-ish, so that the buttocks kind of hang over the front lip of the mat. So I'm in a bit of a back bend. And then you're going to raise your legs up. If you're tighter, you're going to want a little distance from the wall. If you're not using one, fine. If you're using a couch, you could just spread the, oh, this feels super relaxing, your calves onto the couch. So I'm in a much more restorative version, basically sleeping. Or your legs can be raised. There's a nice back bend happening. So my shoulders are, Mary, look at, can you see me? So the shoulders are pushed down and the chest is in this like exaggerated, yeah, exactly. And the tummy is scooping. Just see if Carlton's doing that, because I can't see his sides. The chest is raised way up. So my chest thinks I'm doing Urdhva Dhanurasana. In fact, you're in a shoulder stand, just to make sure you're good. You know that. Okay. The legs are on the wall. And make sure your neck is really safe. If you are in an extreme, like if you're in a taxing position, don't stay too long there. Come down and be in much more of a restorative one. And if your lower back hurts at all, take the one block away, take both blocks away. Experiment with the height of the blocks. This is not, I know this from personal experience because I tried for years. I was like, well, I'll just get to the other side of my back pain. I never got there. It did not happen. So maybe you take the blocks out, or if they feel great, leave them. I'm gonna show it without them. And this is much more of a right angle, so my calves are, they can also be on a chair. And I'm tracking my breath. I place my hand on my ribs and on my belly. Notice the rise and fall of your breath, and when your mind transports you somewhere else, softly, softly, gently, lovingly return to breath awareness. You're then going to bring your legs down from wherever they are and extend out into a Shavasana. So stretch yourself out long. If you want blocks or support in any way, find that, arrange that. Draw shoulder blades onto the back.
I just wanted to check in and let you guys have a thought. Wasn't sure.
And take a deep breath here. Exhale. And take a deep breath in.
I'll let you guys talk.
And exhale it out. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. And let go. Slowly draw a deep breath into the body. Hold it at the top. Take a long exhale out through the mouth. Draw a deep breath in slowly through the nose. Hold at the top. Exhale and sigh it out. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, yawn and stretch your arms overhead. Reach out through your fingers, reach out through your feet. Draw your left knee into the body and roll to your right side. Cuddle into a tiny little fetal position. Skillfully breathe into your back body, your side. Invigorating the body, revitalizing the body with this breath. All of us have some kind of superpower that lends to our resiliency, to our strength and our enjoyment, even in this time, this strange, strange time. Can you pick one of your superpowers right now? Can you identify one, just one, and breathe in it? Maybe this is a small part of your personality. Make it bigger. Breathe into it until it feels like a fully dimensional character inside you. Take it from supporting role to like a bigger role. Get a co-lead. And then push down into the ground to rise up
And when you sit up and find yourself tall, I want you to bring your awareness right back to that gift that you have. And breathe into it proudly, strongly. We need these superpowers right now. And then from here, raise your arms up, look up. Drawing in light, drawing in the sun. Pull the hands down into the heart. It's like we're calling in for backup, right? Press the palms together. We're bringing in another source of light and power, mixing it with our own. And from this place, this strong place of alchemy, we'll take an Om together. Inhale. Bring this fortification of this skill, of this superpower from your heart to your mind. Plug your thumbs into your forehead center. Align your brain and your heart and your gut knowing today. And do one thing today that makes a positive difference in your life. Well, you've already done one, so do one more. Bowing forward to your heart and to one another. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys are a blessing to me. Namaste. I'll see you tomorrow. So good to see you. Bye, you guys.